everybody. It is our pleasure to meet you here again. We have got very nice program for you this evening. It will include two main things: the beauty and the culture of the town of Vienna. It will be presented by Rosemary, and celebrating of women in Europe. We also exchange information about all the ways women are celebrated in our countries, like Mother's Day, Women's Day, or another. And happy to learn what else exists. We also present a Spanish poem, humorous Bulgarian folk song, and Romanian song about women, all of them about mother, about women. So welcome here. Marina, say something, please.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. We're very happy and also very happy about the program. And yes, let's see what Women's Day, Mother's Day you are celebrating in your countries. And let's see what Vienna is all about. Rosemarie will tell us more about the beautiful town of Vienna. We'll see some of the most beautiful points and sightseeing tours, and she will tell us more. And my first time in Vienna was 2019, I think. So I can just say that it is a beautiful town, but you need more than just a few days to see everything. So I give the word to Rosemarie.
Yes.
And Pari will
show
the presentation.
PowerPoint, yes?
Yes, Pari will show the PowerPoint.
I sent it to Emilia a couple of days ago.
Yes, Pari will show it. He will share his screen.
Fine. Very nice.
I think now it's visible, right?
The beginning is the first one, yes. Hello, my dears. Emilia asked me to bring this PowerPoint, and I was really working on it, that you have a nice PowerPoint, and whenever you come to Vienna, you can use it, because I can send it to you with the email. Yeah, the capital of Austria is Vienna, as you know. There are close to 2 million inhabitants, and if you count all the others who are besides, then you can close come to 3 million. And as we have 8 million people, inhabitants, you see it's quite a third of the people. And in the 12th century, a man called Jasomir God, yes, made Vienna as a capital. Richard Lionheart had been captured in the 12th century, and Vienna asked for a lot of money, and then they were building Vienna to a bigger part. And the 16th century, Hungary, Bohemia came to it, and in the 9th century, at the beginning, Vienna became the capital and the residence of Habsburg. Yeah, after World War I, the Emperor Karl issued his declaration, and we became the first republic in the extension of today was proclaimed. But you must know that Austria had 60 million people in the Habsburg time, and it was close as big as the Union of today. So you really may imagine what is left is just a little point. We had the first 200 Jews lived there, but they are gone. Most of them had been murdered. Afterwards, in the 20th century, we regained freedom with the Austrian State Treaty, and we had many refugees 1956 from Hungary, then 68 from Czechoslovakia, and 1991 from Yugoslavia. And now we want to be very friendly with the poor Ukrainian people. We have a first-class healthcare and a good education system and many wonderful cultural things. These I want to show to you now. PowerPoint. Yeah, here you see wonderful Riesenrad, a landmark of the Austrian capital and a symbol of the world famous Wiener Prater. Wiener Prater is here, down here, and it's a very wonderful place, especially for young people. My granddaughter, the youngest granddaughter, went with her friends one day. They wanted to go to the Prater, Prater, and have a good time there. Thank you. Next one. Yeah, and here we have a wonderful castle. Prince Eugen was a commander and diplomat in the Habsburg monarchy and acquired a considerable fortune through his successful fights against the Ottomans. With cosmopolitan sensibility, he met important personalities all over Europe. There was international exchange in the representative rooms of his castle. Prince Eugen not only had a lasting impact on politics, but also on art and cultural history in Austria. His building and his art collection made him one of the most important patrons of his time. He was a very small guy, yeah, but he was very famous. The Schloss Belvedere, the big one, was the most expensive building in Vienna. Lucas Hildebrandt was the architect, and after his death, Maria Theresia, you know her, bought this treasure and opened it for her own art exhibition. And Belvedere has on the other side a small part, and in the small part there is an exhibition, and the Prince Eugen lived there. Yeah, now we have Schönbrunn, yeah, and you see that behind Schönbrunn the hill is going up, and there is a wonderful building too. Schönbrunn Place is one of the most beautiful Baroque complexes in Europe, owned by the Habsburg since the 16th century. The wife of Emperor Ferdinand II, Eleanor von Gonzaga, nobody knows her, but she was very famous, had a pleasure palace built on this site and called it for the first time. The palace and gardens were built after the Turkish siege at the end of the 17th century. It was redesigned under Marie Theresia in the 18th century. Today, the castle is a UNESCO World Heritage due to the historical significance, its unique, complex, and furnishings. There's a famous zoo, yes, and the Gloriette, a wonderful complex on the small hill behind. Second, the next one, yeah. Yes, now look at the wonderful site. This is the Hofburg in the middle of Vienna, and in the middle of the 16th century, Ferdinand moved his residence, and the castle became Hofburg. Hofburg always means that the emperors lived there. Exciting wings were expanded and numerous new ones were added. It's a very big place. And at the moment, it is the official residence of our president. You probably know him. It's Van der Bellen. Next one, please. Yeah, Again, the Prater, here you see the carriages. And if you want, you could make a wonderful festival of your own and be happy. Of course, people who want to get married use it. And the son of Maria Theresia, he really said, the plain people should have something of all this loveliness, and so he opened it for the people. The green Prater, this one, is under landscape protection with the aim of preserving the typical structure of an almost untouched floodplain landscape. And people love it there, and they are walking, they are running, they are taking their children, they have a good year. Thank you. Next one. Yeah, and now you see the Elizabeth called Sissi, well known all over the world. Elizabeth of Austria, born in Munich, yes, and she died in Geneva. She had been murdered. Aha, that's wrong. Through her marriage to her cousin Franz Joseph, she became Empress of Austria and later Apostolic Queen of Hungary. She loved Hungary. Elizabeth called Sissi, she was beautiful, rich, and had a husband who adored her. She was well educated, liked horse riding, and traveled extensively. Only 2 weeks after the wedding, Sissi wrote in a poem, "I woke up in a dungeon, and chains are on my hand, and my longing is getting stronger, and freedom, you turned away from me." Yeah, she was not very happy in her position. Thank you. Next one. But I want to show her in her most beautiful dress. She got these wonderful jewels from her husband, and she put it in her hair. And she had wonderful hair going up to here, and it took 3 hours a day to get this wonderful hair in a wonderful style. In order to maintain her figure, she was always very thin, and because of her went on long hikes every day at fast pace, which her ladies in waiting could hardly keep up with her. I can do just the same. I'm not not a queen, an empress, but I'm walking quickly, and not many people can go up with me. In addition, there are gyms in each of their domiciles with various machines, rings, bars, and dumbbells. The gymnastic be seen today in the rooms of the Vienna Hofburg. Empress Elizabeth ate relatively little. She kept her body weight constant with now listen, with an orange, egg and milk diet, salted raw egg, whites instead of lunch, and the occasional violet ice cream. She had broth made from fresh veal juice. That was thank you. Now you have 2 wonderful pictures with horses. You know, these are the Libizzanas, and these are the well-known fiacres. When you go to Vienna, you can just take one of these carriages and have a nice ride and look at all the beautiful things.
Jasmin.
Jose. Yeah.
Pitaj mi ulicu, sigurno ne znaš.
With the fiacre through Vienna, they belong to Vienna like St. Stephen's Cathedral and the Ferris wheel, the fiacre. A ride in one of those two-horse carriages is one of the highlights for many tourists. Between 1860 and 90, more than 1,000 were on the move in Vienna. It was the normal traffic. Probably the most famous of their guild was Josef Bratfisch, Crown Prince Rudolf's fiacre, who brought Mary Wetscherer to Meyerling in 1889, where the lives of both met a tragic end. You probably know that Prince Rudolf shot himself and his fiancée. The World White Stallions take place in the riding school in the Hofburg, in the most beautiful riding hall in the world. The demonstrations are the result of many years of training and intensive work by the riders and their Lipizzanos. The stormy young stallions enchant the audience as well. Trained school stallions who show themselves in the school quadrille with long reins. Next one, please. Next one. Thank you. Yeah. Now look here. This big place, that's all museums. It is an oasis of calmness and relaxation. With around 60 cultural institutions, the Museumsquartier Wien is not only one of the world's largest art and cultural areas, but also an oasis of calmness and relaxation. In the middle of the city, with its inner courtyards, this is the inner courtyards, cafes and shop. So you can here sit and have a very nice time. Today's Museumsquartier was built in the 16th century is as imperial court stables. Here were only horses to begin with. Historic art and high culture meet subcultures. The spectrum ranges from visual arts, architecture, music, fashion, theater, dance, literature, children's culture, game culture, street art to design and photography. Now you can find this in the Google and then look at it. Thank you. Next one, please. Yeah, here you see, also, okay, good. When you are in Vienna, you can go with the S-Bahn all through Vienna. And these had been built, the Wiener Stadt, 19th century by Otto Wagner. Otto Wagner was a very famous architect who not only designed the substructure and the buildings such as relating walls, lining walls, bridges. This is a very famous bridge, viaducts, tunnel portals, and stations like this station, which are still in use. In a uniform way, but also all the associated ticket and luggage counters, floor coverings, railings, elevators, grills, skates, furniture, water, lighting fixtures. The infrastructure has largely been preserved, yes, we still have it, as a total work of art in the transitional style. between late historicism and early Art Nouveau Jugendstil. Is one of the city sites. So when you go to Vienna, just experience this wonderful site. Use it. Thank you. Next one. Yeah, here I have something wonderful, Mexican art. It's from it's something of Moctezuma from Mexico. And one must say that all the museums in Germany and in Austria and probably France and so on, they took by staying in other countries, took their precious things. And now the Mexican people want it back because they say that's ours. So the Wien Museum, we have so many museums, and I just want to tell some of them. And whenever you come to Vienna, take time for the museums. Wien Museum, Technical Museum, Albertina is very, very famous and has art exhibitions. And there are noble staterooms of the Habsburg. Leopold Museum, a large Chile, and Gustav Klimt. Gustav Klimt, you know, with the Golden Lady. MAC, Museum of Applied Arts, and then Kunsthistorisches with a Tizian exhibition. And this you can look at virtual. You just go on Google and say you want to see the exhibition. And Vienna Imperial Treasure. And here is the Weltmuseum, the Ethnographic Museum, and houses some of the world's most important, famous non-European collections. There are more things than this one. The most beautiful is the Federkrone Moctezumas from Mexico. Okay, and now here's a little bit in German, doesn't matter. Yeah, and Mexico wants to have it back. Yeah, and here you see two wonderful sites. This one is the Palace, yeah, which is close to the Castle Schönbrunn, and it was the first palm house in this largeness. And here is the Naschmarkt, yeah. The name Naschmarkt is documented from around 1820, which in turn may have come from the sometimes exotic sweets and goods, such as orange peel and dates marinated in sugar. There's a name again in German, but the name is not only naschen, means having something nice to eat, yeah, but it probably came from the name ash. Also, when you when you burn wood or coal in your oven, then you have at the end ash. Yeah, and something very special is that his earlier plan to arch the Wien River was not realized for cost reasons. Only in the area closest to the center was the river gradually curved, also put a roof on it over the length of 2 kilometers, and on it is the current Naschmarkt. Yeah, next one, please. Thank you. Yeah, we're coming to the end, and here you see two things. Here is the Uno city, And here is between the main river and the smaller part of the Donau, there is an idol, and on this idol there are festivals, and Viennese people adore these festivals, and they were very sad not happening. But now in 22, the festival will happen again. Thank you. So now we have last meetings from this wonderful city tour of Vienna at night. I do hope that you may be able to visit our wonderful capital one day. I'm Rosemarie Kurz, living in Graz. It's the second largest town of Austria, and it's in the county of Styria, 200 kilometers southeast of Vienna. And when I go with my car, it's just 2 hours ride. But nowadays I don't go by cars, I take the train because of the climate. I don't know whether we have a next one. Do we have a next one? Is there something?
I think this is the last slide.
No, it's the last one. So it's really the last one. Yeah. Just have a look. And I really hope that one day you will go to Vienna. And I do hope that you get by mail these PowerPoints, so that when you have the possibility of going to Vienna, you just have to take this with you, and you know the most beautiful things. Thank you very much for your listening and looking.
Thank you very much to you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Was anybody already in Vienna?
Rosemarie, thank you very much, because you put so much knowledge, skills, competencies, effort. Maybe you lost much time to do this beautiful presentation, but it's so famous and beautiful town that we need some much information. I have been in Vienna many times, and I like this town. So your presentation impressed me and made me many things. Bravo, Rosemarie. Somebody write over, Hugh writes over there.
Yeah, thank you.
So, dear colleagues, have you been in Vienna or you like to go there? Tell us.
I've been in
Бяхме
Vienna.
във Виена и може да ни стане екскурзовод наново.
Тя предлага, she offered, who would like to receive this presentation, to put his email in the chat.
We usually put the material on the website, so I can send the link when it's online to you.
Okay, send us. Тя предложи да ви приводи там, ако искате. Barbara was there. Barbara, say something about Vienna. Do you like?
I like it. It was nice there, but I have seen not all what Rosemarie told. I thought other things when I was there.
So now you have to go again to see these examples that Rosemarie showed us.
Yes, I can do it.
Yeah, you have to. Someone else?
I've been in Vienna several times. Just this
Може
summer.
да разкаже за Виенската филхармония в Шамбрун?
Момент.
Еми?
Да. Who's
Във Виена.
Мария Алексе.
Maria, tell us. Maria, tell us.
From Bucharest. She is vice president of our Sor Optimist International Union.
Okay, Maria, tell us.
Microfonul, Maria, deschide microfonul.
Thank you. I was in Vienna this summer. I don't know if this was my 4th or my 5th time I was there. So I was very pleased to see Vienna again. As the person who, sorry, I don't remember the name, who spoke before me, I haven't seen all the things presented. That's very nice, because when I will be there next time, I have something new to see. But Vienna is wonderful. I've been there in autumn, in spring, in summer, and in winter. So it's beautiful in each season, and people are very friendly. The hotels, last summer I lived in a very Austrian style hotel, in the best sense of the way. It was a real holiday, and I hope to be there as soon as possible. It's one of the cities that I love very much. And in my family, my mother family comes from the north of Transylvania. So I have several, I had, because now they are dead, several relatives who went there to university. So Vienna was like a 90 when we were able to travel all over Europe. I had great emotions when I was there for the first time. And now I can say that I feel at home, in the good sense of the way. It's a wonderful town.
Thank you very much. Veska, tell us.
Аз искам да разкажа за благотворителния концерт на Виенската филхармония. Присъствах в Шонбрун. Това беше нечувано, невиждано, красота, а пък самата музика, това ли някога ще забравя това, което чух и видях.
Благодаря. Veska visited a concert, symphonic concert in Vienna, and she was impressed by music, by everything. Иванка?
Искам аз да споделя за наше участие в един международен конкурс в Прага през 2002 година, хоров конкурс, и връщайки се оттам, имахме възможност 6 часа да посетим центъра на Виена. И тогава беше в Великденските празници, в катедралата Свети Стефан имаше участие на голям хор и слушахме органова музика.
Добре, благодаря. Иванка Балтова is a director of a song group, and she is also very good singer, and they took part in one competition in Prague. On the way back, they stopped in Vienna, exactly in the center of the city. It was Easter time, and they visited the church Stephan's Dome, and they were very, very nice concerts. So she was impressed too. Thank you. Who would like to say something more? Okay, Marina, to continue, would you like to continue?
So I think now we will hear from Valeria Fakas from Cluj-Napoca, a Romanian song. So Pavi, can you show? Do you want to say something first?
Anna?
Anna?
Da. Valeria Farkas is from Cluj-Napoca, from the Elderly Day Center #1, director Mihaela Markovic, and she will perform today a beautiful Romanian song, Mândru zice Cetera, a nice song from Cetera. Cetera is an instrument, And about the lyrics of this song, I can tell you the message. I start to sing and dance with my sweetheart. And now a few words from Valeria. Doamna Valeria, spuneți-ne câteva cuvinte.
Thank you, thank you.
Bună seara!
Bună seara!
Înregistrarea care urmează să o vedeți este făcută în Cluj-Napoca, în grădina casei mele, anul trecut, în primăvara anului trecut, când era pandemia în floare și noi la centru de zi nu puteam să avem activitate și atunci fizic. Ne-am întrunit un grup restrâns de colegi la noi acasă și am făcut înregistrarea sub filmarea și regia coordonatoarea noastră Mihaela Marcovici. Orchestra am avut pe Vasile Popa, profesorul Vasile Popa și la acordeon, la vioară și la acordeon Alexandru Coman.
So what you will see the video, you will see in the next seconds was filmed in the garden of the house of Valeria from Cluj-Napoca. This was taken last year during the pandemic time, but under the direction of Mihaela Markovic and the other colleagues, that the recorder could be possible done in that period.
În cântec este vorba despre dragostea și admirația pentru vioară care cântă frumos, îndemnul pentru ceterași să cânte mai cu foc, bucuria de a cânta și a juca atunci când aud vioara cântând, admirația și dragostea pentru Badea care joacă bine și fălos și frumos și, de asemenea, îndemnul pentru el să joace cât mai bine și să... Deci tot cântecul exprimă bucuria de a celebra viața prin joc, cântec și voie bună.
In the next song, you will hear the joy of being happy during and dancing this song. Let's hear it. Să ascultăm.
Ok, Pari. Thank you.
Mândru joacă bădița, la 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 la. S-o luăm după zicală, la 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 la. Că ne zice până seara, la 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 la. Bate-l, Doamne, pe Badea! Mândru l-a făcut măsa! Cu oachii și gura! Ai, hai, zi-așa! Ai, hai, dă-tașe! Ai, hai, ține-oșe! Ai, hai, numașe! Eu când aud ce te-ra, la 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 la, mi se deschide gura, la 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 la, și-mi tot vine a cânta, la 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 la, a cânta și a juca, la 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 la. Și ce te rămai cu foc, ca să intru și eu în joc. Ai, hai, zi-așa, ai, hai, numașe, ai, hai, ține-oșe, ai, hai, numașe, mândru-i Badea și fălos, la 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 la, lasă fie că-i frumos, la 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 la, mândru-i Badea și să ține, la 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 la, lasă fie că-i stă bine, la 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 la. Bate, bate, cizmele, să sară cărcuiele, bate cizma la podele, că ne zice tata ziua și până mâine seară iară.
Bravo, Vali, bravo! Mulțumesc, mulțumesc! Bravo. Very good written, beautiful song, beautiful words. Thank you very much. So after this beautiful song, we continue with information about Mother's Day. But before to continue, I'd like to say, Vali, please say thank you very much to your colleagues from this video. Anna, can you translate?
Da. Doamna Valeria, să spuneți frumos, un mulțumesc frumos la toți colegii din video.
Michaela, in your group, you have got very...
Doamna Mihaela, sunt niște oameni foarte talentați în grupul dumneavoastră.
Într-adevăr. Mulțumim tare mult.
Now, in the next presentation, I would like to show you other groups of talented people who are doing some celebration in Bulgaria. And not only in Bulgaria, I will stop your attention also for this Mother's Day in Europe. So I'll put my presentation. Just a moment. So, can you see my presentation now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to speak about Mother's Day celebrated in Bulgaria, but we'll stop attention how it is doing in Europe. This is a day of honoring mothers and women in European countries. So, if you think, what is this day? If this is the second day or last Sunday of May, so surprisingly, Mother's Day is celebrated on all these days, depending on what part of the world you ask. Mothers are important around the world, regardless of the date or what the people of a country call this day dedicated to mothers. Celebration is usually the same or similar. To honor the mother or woman of the family, motherhood, the motherland bonds, and the influence of mothers in society. In fact, there are over 30 different Mother's Day dates around the world. Not all of those days are called Mother's Day. For example, you can see in yellow, in blue, or green, or red, this is celebration of Mother's Day in different countries according to the color. How to celebrate Mother's Day in Europe? If this is second Sunday in May, it was registered by Anna Jarvis in USA, 1914. 103 countries celebrate Mother's Day exactly on May. Germany started official celebration in 1922. Also Austria. These countries, just people from our country, from countries that are here. From Ukraine we haven't got, but Ukraine is going in this group. 8th of March, this is officially International Women's Day. It was registered in 19 March 1911 in USA, and 21 countries celebrate this day. Bulgaria started in 1915. but also Romania, Serbia. Da. Austria is in the second Sunday of May. Romania and Serbia. What else? First Sunday of May, 8 countries. Last Sunday of May, 14 countries. Fourth Sunday of Lent, Mothering Sunday, it is moving 7 countries, including England. England is here in this group. 15th of August, only Antwerp in Belgium. Second Sunday of February, 1 country. About 28th of March. It is Annunciation Christian celebration. It is a great Christian celebration in Slovenia, Bulgaria, and Romania. Also in Bulgaria, 8th January or 21st January, because we have got old and new calendar. 26th of May in Poland and second Sunday of June, Luxembourg. Of course, there are more other dates, but not in Europe, in other continents. So this is my grandson. When he was born, he was so little, but now he's a very good boy, 5 years old. So I would like to speak about this special day, 8th of January or 21st of January, which is celebrated in Bulgaria for Grandmother's Day, Mother's Day, Day of Midwife, Day of Birth Support. So you can see so many celebrations in one day, because all of them are important. It is known as Babinden because Baba is grandmother. It is one of the great folk women's holiday dedicated to mothers, grandmothers, midwife, the young brides, women who gave birth, doctors, especially gynecologists. So the right of this day is mainly subject to the desire to pay tribute and respect to the women who give a new life. In 1951, the 1st January, now it is, according to new calendar, 8th of January, was accepted as the day of birth support. Midwives and gynecologists in Bulgaria. So how Club Kalina, sorry, I have got here mistake. Club Kalina from Russia, Bulgaria celebrates this day. Mrs. Krasimira Marinova is the president of this club, and they celebrated 50th anniversary of the Club Kalina on 20th of March this year. They have got many other activities, and if Romanians group or unions like of Mihaela Club would like to organize common events, they are welcome. So this day is celebrated mainly in a humorous spirit, not with real babies, but just theater, funny theater. On this day, all children who are born 1 year ago and their mother visit the house of midwife to perform the following rituals. First, this is bathing of the children by the midwife, followed by blessing of the babies with honey and butter, and the ritual is performed to ensure the health and many babies of all participants. So you can see on the left picture, it was earlier, and now the colored pictures are of this Club Kalina, members of the Club Kalina, bathing the children by the midwife. So they are young girl who congratulate mothers, and after that the midwife bless all other participants who has not baby this time to be new babies. After that, all mothers give the midwife gifts. You can see gifts is food and drink, rakia, tsuika. The young mothers, those who have given birth in the last year, bring bread, banitsa. Banitsa, this is traditional bread with cheese, chicken, and wine. They help the midwife wash and present her with new clothes. So you can see members of Club Kalina. And also food, there is banitsa, but also there are different kinds of breads. Members of the club. This is in one restaurant in Russia. The members of the club are young and old. And they finish with dancing and songs. Children hold a special place in Bulgarian culture. Many traditional things, festivity to this. For example, a childless house is a burned house, and the child is bigger than a king. There is a complex system of traditional beliefs about what should and should not be done in order to have an easy pregnancy and birthing and in a healthy child. For example, children should not be convinced on the night of Friday. A pregnant woman may not steal and eat in secret because the stolen or eaten item will manifest itself as scarring or a birthmark on the baby. A pregnant woman should receive all she likes, all she wants. And if food is hidden from a pregnant woman, the baby will be fastidious, bitter, and sickly. So you can see that men are also included, but in a funny way, in this celebration. This is the mayor of the municipality Slivopole, who is godfather on that day. About 8th of March, this is second celebration in Bulgaria. So you can see on the first picture, the first woman doctor in Bulgaria, Tota Venkova, who organized the first public celebration of this day. And the second picture is Raina Kasabova, who is statistically the first woman in the world that complete a mission aboard of a fire yet. She was only 15 years old. So on this day, every boy, every man must present flowers and gifts to his wife, mother, mother-in-law, girlfriend, college, daughter, family, friends, woman. Celebrating at home or in a restaurant is a must. And the leaders send greeting cards to all women who work in the organization. So this card is from my rector this year. And from the last year, from 2021, this is the card of, from my rector. The third celebration in Bulgaria is 25th of March, Annunciation. In Bulgarian, it is Благовещение или Благовет. I will show you a celebrating of this day in the municipality of Slivopole in 2019. The leaders were Mrs. Veska Uzunova, the president of the Union of Pensioners, with 21 clubs in all villages and towns, and Mr. Valentin Atanasov, the mayor. So this celebration, Благовещение, is annually organized as a drama game by pensioners and school students. The main aim is to celebrate the mothers, and the second goal is to preserve and transmit all traditions to the new generations. This celebration was in a house of Mrs. Kornova. So you can see many visitors, many guests. On this day, women swept the house, meet the neighbors, and sowed their trees and seeds. So you can see all these activities. Of course, this is theater. One woman put ears of a little girl, and the men prepare a fire. Jumping over the fire is another part of the ritual, usually performed by the younger members, and it is said that the farthest jump would give the young man a wife in the autumn. And all attempts will give good health to participants for their efforts. You can see women and men jump the fire. Many stories were told that day. If you see a stork, you have to touch a penny to be wetly all year long. After that, many songs and many dances were danced that day. Thank you very much. And now let's see, if the god were a woman, what would be? Please give the floor to Mariela Scalera from Germany, Augsburg.
Okay, so evening. My name is Ella, And today I want to present to you this poem, which was written by Mario Benedetti. He is a poet from Uruguay, but as you might be able to tell by his name, he was from Italian descent. And the poem was originally written in Spanish, so I decided to bring an English translation. Even if maybe I get have people from Romania and Bulgaria, Romanian is quite similar to Neo-Latin languages, so maybe Romanian people would understand the Spanish version. We want to go for the English, just to make sure everybody understands. So I picked a translation that I like. So there were several available on the internet. Okay, so I'm going to read that out loud for you, and you can follow the text which is being shared by the host of this meeting. Okay, so the title is If God Were a Woman. If God were a woman, one asks without batting an eye. Okay. If God were a woman, it's possible that us, agnostics and atheists, wouldn't say no with our heads and say yes with our guts. Maybe we would approach her divine nudity in order to kiss her feet, not of bronze, her pubis not of stone, her breasts not of marble, her lips not of plaster. If God were a woman, we would hug her, pull her out of her painting, and we wouldn't have to swear death do us part, since she would be mortal by antonomasia, and instead of sending us AIDS or panic, she would infect us with her immortality. If God were a woman, she wouldn't install herself far away in the kingdom of heaven, but would wait for us in the entrance hall of hell, with her arms not crossed, her rose not of plastic, her love not of the angels. Oh my God, if until were a woman, how nice scandal it would be. What fortunate, splendid, impossible, prodigious blasphemy. Okay. So yeah, this is the poem that I decided to bring to you, and I was interested in sharing the perspective of the poet, which presents to us an idea which is quite unusual, because I think especially when we are based in a cultural context of Europe, most societies are patriarchal society and not matriarchal, and they do have a conception of society that is really family-based. And so our gods in Europe tend to be men as well. And these obviously shape the way we perceive them and how we interact with them and our conception of church, and especially in Christianity. So I was raised in a Catholic family in Italy, and we do have this fear of God, in fact, because we have several things that are forbidden. We need to behave in a certain way. And we do have a completely different conception of womanhood and femininity. And here, I think in the poem, Edith is trying to compare this image of the feminine goddess being a mother, kind of, and being way more approachable and a person, despite being of godly nature. And so this is the perspective I want to present to you. And I do not want to give an opinion. I would like to hear your opinion about this, because I think it's really interesting. And I do not want to say that one model is better than the other, but I just want to compare those two, because I think, obviously, it would really change things. In modern society, we have had, I think there was Ariana Grande wrote a song about God being a woman. Which I did not listen to the song, but obviously, in modern society, people have tried to approach this topic several times. And so yeah, I was interested in hearing your opinion about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ella. Does anybody want to share anything, your thoughts?
I would like to remark that for me it was interesting that if the God were a woman, the women, the wife, will not stay and wait for their husbands in front of paradise, but in front of hell. So It was funny for me. But the poem is very beautiful, really very beautiful. I think that it was more beautiful to hear in Spanish, but also looks nice in English. Thank you very much for this good idea.
Thank you very much as well. It was a very interesting poem, and I like the refreshingly different perspective it gives.
Really. Thank you very much, Mariela. So, to continue with the last song, it is Marina to continue. Okay, the last song is Peter gave Rada a ring. So, what is the song? What is this song about? This boy Petko gave a ring of Rada, but with the condition she had to wait for him a year and or a year and a half because he would be abroad, and when he returned they would marry. But she Rada didn't wait for him for a month. She's married. When he returned, he asked Rada for the ring back. But she says, you had a ring, you gave it to me. I didn't have a ring and I took it. So this is funny song. And I would like to remark that this Lily Dimitrova from the Union of Pensioners, Slivopole Municipality, Bulgaria, she was sick and sang a song for us some months ago. For this reason, she couldn't finish the song. She lost the voice, and now she's ready to sing a song. So Paddy, please give us the video. Thank you very much, Paddy.
Petkunarada prastenda de marida guchaka zagudina marisa gudina ipovina. Tiani guchaka ni gudina marini gudina ipovina. Naisarada uglavila mari uglavila uženila. Rada utide na cerkva da mari gerčik peku zatkratata, toj na rada progovara mari davaj rado što ti davah. Abre petko gerčik petko abre imao si mi daval si mi daval si mi abre i njamala sam zemala sam.
Emily, you're muted.
Emily, you're muted.
This is the last contribution for our meeting this evening. So thank you very much for your participation. It was my pleasure to be here. Marina, please close our session.
Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you to all participants. Thank you to our translators, and thank you also to Pari for the technical moderation. Thank you to Emily. It was a really nice evening. It's always nice to see you, and I'm happy that you're here. And yes, see you next time. Have a good rest of the evening.